trucks. So, wanted to do a truck review, but unfortunately, yeah, we got into a wreck. So welcome back to the scene of the crime. The end of the journey for our truck, for sure. We're about, I don't know, like 15 hours or something like that after the accident. I've been working on a series of 3 videos, the first 2 of which were about our trailer, the RV that we've been living in for the last 5 years. And then the third video that I was gonna shoot was about our truck that we've been using to haul this around. The truck is destroyed. We don't have that truck anymore. This is all I got. I got a little toy version of it. Drunk driving teens hit us and sent us for a ride. Rolled over in this thing. But let me tell you, it did an amazing job keeping us safe while we rolled. There's the roundabout. This is where we got hit at. You can kind of see where they put stuff down here on the road for, I guess, fluids and stuff that got dumped. So this is around where we took the impact, I think. See all this debris. This is my rental car. I picked up a rental car today. So that night, Taylor and I went and got in the truck, and we're gonna go get some food and go do a little shopping. And 7:45 at night, turn onto a service road. So we're going down street, turn onto the frontage road along I-25. And in the distance, I can see these headlights come in at a very high rate of speed up to a corner that's right there. Immediately, I thought, I don't think he's gonna make that corner. So they come flying around that corner. I'm already concerned that they're gonna wreck, that they're not gonna handle the curve. They don't handle the curve correctly at their high rate of speed. They drift over, hit that guardrail, bounce off of it, and they're coming towards us. So I'm seeing those headlights looking straight at the truck coming on. At that point, I do punch it, and I pull to the right a little bit. I try to avoid the hit if I can. You know, that's my goal right there, is just, you know, can I completely avoid this, hopefully. So I try to accelerate, try to pull over a little bit, but there's this guardrail here. I can only move so much. So I move a little bit over. I accelerate to try to get past where they're coming. Next thing I know, I'm going like, oh, we're getting past it. You know, the headlights go past my side. I'm like, we're getting past it. Maybe we won't get hit. And I'm like, all right, we're in the clear. Maybe he won't hit us. You know, at least we missed the head-on collision. And then next thing you know, you feel it, boom. You feel that hit, hear that noise, right? Just that impact noise. At that point, I'm definitely like, okay, this is a bad wreck. Truck is maybe ruined. Next thing you know, it's like, well, I'm clearly like well out of control. And then the airbag is popping out against the side of my head. I'm going like, whoa, what just happened there? You know, like I got slapped or whatever, and I look and it's like, oh, that's the airbag, okay. And I look the other direction, and that's when I realized, oh, we're rolling. It was actually hard to tell in the moment that the truck had started to roll over, just because of the whole physics and everything that was going on. But that's where I kind of turned to Taylor. I'm like, we're rolling, and you have no control anymore, right? Brakes, steering, like, you're rolling. So he'd gone and hit us in this backside, smacked the wheels there in his little Honda Accord, right? So came along, bam, hit us kind of right into this rear passenger door, and then goes up underneath the dualies there, smacks those. This kind of hit us into that guardrail. And then as a result of that, I think just kind of pinning and going underneath there caused it to roll up along the guardrail on this truck bed. And you can see the marks of the guardrail on the truck bed itself. So we kind of rolled like that along it and came to a stop. So luckily it was pretty quick, because you're totally along for the ride at that point. It's just, you know, I've lost control of everything. It's like being on a roller coaster. You're just waiting for it to end. Looks like you see some red paint along the guardrail here, where the truck came along here. Again, on this other side of it. Yeah, just amazing that we landed with the truck up on its wheels. So our front end would have been right here. I think this mark here, that's probably where the frame rail was sitting on it. So it stopped, looking around, airbags are all down, windshield is smashed, there's glass all up on the dash. Stuff is kind of everywhere. I've got our air compressor for the tires and stuff like sitting at my side. That's kind of hit me in the head. And now I'm starting to see a little bit of smoke. So if you didn't know, airbags, when they blow out, in order for them to come out as fast as they do, it's actually a small explosion. Having just been in a major rollover car accident, I'm going like, I don't know if that's the smoke from the airbags or if the vehicle's on fire. So I'm like going like, all right, how do we get out of here? Now I need to know. And the airbags are down. So I can't see out the window. I can't see anything. You know, I look at the rear, they're down in the rear. Look at the side, they're down the side. Out the front, windshield's all smashed. I can't really see anything. The airbags did their job and protected us tremendously well. Honestly, airbags are amazing. The problem with it after the fact though was that we were kind of trapped in there in that smoke. I didn't know if the truck was on fire at that point. I can't see orange flame or anything from like underneath the hood. That doesn't mean that, yeah, there's not something going on, there's something cooking. So of course I want to be able to open the door, and you try to open the door, well, the door won't open. And again, I can't I try to do some of the airbags, I can't look underneath the airbags because they're so rigid. They hold their rigidity for quite a while before they start to deflate. So I try to hit the door lock. There's nothing going there. I try to open the door again, you know, try to give it a good shove. Can't get it out. I think part of the reason why is because the roof above me, and I couldn't really tell from the inside that it was smashed down that much. It's like the windshield's all smashed and everything, and it was a rollover, and yeah, maybe, but it had smashed down a little bit, and I think that was kind of pinning it and making it more difficult. Maybe if I just like really pushed off the side or something, maybe twisted and tried to kick the door, I might have been able to get it open. But in the moment, that just wasn't really in my head, and it was like, what's the thing that I know that I can do? So at that point, windshield's already completely screwed, right? It's all cracked and distorted and all that. So I decided to kick the windshield out. That was the one thing that I could do. I'm sitting there, got the steering wheel, you know, stuff next to me. I'm able to get my leg up over the dash and then just started kicking. The windshield at that point is very fluid because it's all cracked, but it's being held together by the film layers that keep it from just completely exploding in your face. So it's got some give, but you know, give it a few moments, a few tries, and after about, I don't know, 6 or so kicks, it finally started to break out, and then I was able to finish just kicking a few more times and get it to fully fold out. At that point, the air kind of cleared, and it was like, okay, we're not on fire. I think it was just the smoke from the airbags. Like, there's no additional smoke outside. That at least allowed us to realize, okay, that smoke dissipated then. That was just the airbags. There doesn't seem to be any other fire. So at least we're okay, we're safe. Some other people at that point stopped and came up on the outside. So thank you to those people that stopped. And they were able to confirm that, like, yeah, you're okay. You can just wait. You don't need to crawl out, wait for the fire department. It was certainly nicer having the clear air in the truck at that point as well. Made it a little bit more comfortable that, like, okay, we're okay, and we have an escape path. And what's even better, we had a blanket in the back, and so I was able to take that blanket and throw it over the glass that's all over the dash, so that if we had to crawl out, we've got a clear open path with a blanket there, helping to ensure that we don't get all cut up if that's the route that we need to go to, like, get a fast exit. Yeah, kind of at this point, I'm going like, I guess this is it. This is the last time we're gonna be able to enjoy our truck and sit in it. A pretty sad moment right there, but also still just, you know, concerned for, like, how is Taylor doing and how are the people in the other car doing that went underneath us? Like, that's not a good situation. Fire department shows up a minute later, and it turns out that our door could just be opened from the outside. So they opened the door, and so I was able to crawl out. Taylor was able to crawl over the center console and come out behind me. And then she was in a lot of pain. Before she even crawled out, she was already starting to complain about back pain, rib pain. She's had her rib fractures over there before. So that was certainly a concern of when she rolled and kind of took that initial hit. And then I took more of the head hit because of how it rolled from there. You know, I took the high side, the slower high side, but when that roof hit, like, a lot more impact coming in. It was more crunched down on my side for the head, and I think I hit my head up there and got myself a bit of a mild concussion. Taylor took more of a slam from the side, and so she had bruises on her around her knee, on her legs. She ended up with bruises on her back and stuff, and she still has, a month later, a little bit of pain in her backside. So it was still a fairly violent experience for what was overall, you know, we got to walk away and not that bad of a wreck, all things considered. At least it wasn't a head-on collision, right? So, you know, maybe the other people are okay. Honestly, I still don't have an answer on that. I don't know how the other people fared out of that wreck. I know that nobody died, and that was a good thing to know in the moment. There's a massive hit up here, so I don't know if that was them after going underneath us, and then they smashed here, or if that was us. I don't see red paint. So yeah, not sure if that was what that was, but like, wow. Good thing for this guardrail. Taylor wants to go get seen. There's an ambulance there already, so she walks with them. Paramedics up to the ambulance, starts getting checked out. I had police that were like all trying to ask me questions in the moment and stuff. And I'm like, I kind of, for insurance and stuff, I want to get some photos or video of the accident, but I had that going on. And so they're delaying me asking questions from getting, you know, what I wanted to do and then get up to Taylor, you know, see how she's doing. So at that point, it's just like, you know, they're asking me like, where exactly did he hit on the guardrail? Because we looked and we don't see it over there. And, you know, this kind of stuff going on. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, you know, they drift along the guardrail. I'm sure there's markings on it. You can see the tire marks here of where the guy came off the road this direction. And then you can see the paint marks on the guardrails over here of exactly where he hit and then deflected out to where we were at. Yeah, how perfect. Anyways, I basically said, like, let me go talk to the wife. I'm like, we'll figure this out. So I go up and see Taylor. She ends up wanting to be transported. I saw somebody else on a stretcher. I saw the other car. It was completely like front end smashed in, just, you know, looked pretty bad. One person on a stretcher. I heard from the paramedics that like people weren't wanting to go to the hospital. So to me, I'm going like, all right, that it sounds like nobody is like critical, however bad they're probably hurting, but nobody was dead. I asked the officer that and he said, yeah, nobody died. And then the next thing the cops are telling me is that the guy that hit us is drunk. He's an 18-year-old drunk kid. Last thing I saw of the person in the other car was that he was in handcuffs being arrested. I know that this morning at 11:30, they were doing like an initial bail hearing and stuff for him. You know, and I do have sympathy for people, right? Like it is a mistake. It's a dumb mistake. It's something you should know better not to do, to drink and drive. Especially, you know, high rates of speed, drunk. Like, you're really asking for it. This could have been way worse. This could have killed somebody. Could have killed somebody in his car. So he's underneath a lot of charges. You know, hopefully it doesn't totally ruin the guy's life. You know, one night, one mistake. Hopefully he learns a good lesson. That adds a whole nother aspect to this thing. Not only we get into this wreck that completely destroyed the truck, but we're also victims of a crime now. So there's a whole criminal proceeding to this going on as well. So we're having to talk to district attorneys and file statements with them. We're having to deal with insurance. We've got Progressive. We were told initially that night, like, he's not presenting insurance. We were told when we called the cops a few days later that he doesn't have insurance. Our insurance says, Progressive says, hey, we're gonna find out. We'll find out for sure whether he has it. We check with them a few days later and they tell us that they can confirm that he does not have insurance. Turns out the way that they confirmed that was they called the police, and that's the only people they apparently talked to was the police, and said, you know, does he have insurance? And they said, didn't present insurance. So that was their whole confirmed he did not have insurance. Turns out a week after the accident, we get an email from the police with a copy of a picture of his insurance. So now we're having to deal with Geico insurance. We're dealing with Progressive. We've got the uninsured, underinsured. His coverage probably doesn't cost the total cost of that truck, because most people don't carry like super high amounts. You know, requirements are fairly low. Could be as low as like 25 grand, which definitely doesn't pay for that truck. Even 50 grand doesn't pay for that truck. It's like a whole thing. Like, we're gonna end up, our insurance having to kick in some amount. Got the legal side, and then of course there's restitution for other items and stuff as well. For example, those airbags, you remember I said it's an explosive charge. Here's something that I've learned as a result of this accident. This jacket, I don't know if this will come out very well, it's completely singed. It's crispy here, like this, it's melted together at points. This jacket was like arm was up at that window where the airbag blew. Taylor's jacket as well, she had a coat on that's all burnt down here, with a burn, a big scorch mark and a hole through it. Airbags burn people. I didn't really realize that. So, you know, I knew they have these explosive charges to do it, and they come out hot and fast as a result of that. I didn't really realize that the gases and stuff might escape and actually burn skin. Luckily I had this jacket on, or that would have been my elbow. I feel like all in all, we got pretty lucky. It's in part because we'd just come out of that. We were not moving fast. I think by the time I punched it there, we might have gotten up to 30, 35 miles an hour trying to avoid the hit. And yeah, it's just because they got underneath those rear duals that it sent us tumbling and made it kind of as bad as it was. Yeah, not too bad. Doesn't look like there's anything important sitting here that I need to get. And I can't get to the truck until tomorrow, so Monday. The impound lot that it's in is not open today, so I'll go try to get more photos and video at the truck tomorrow, see what it looks like, and then we got to figure out exactly how do we get things right. Luckily, I didn't have all my tools. I'd actually had my tool case and stuff out of the truck, so that those weren't in the back and thrown everywhere. The truck bed cover, right? We've got that hard cover for the truck bed. Underneath that, we carry the bikes, and then we had the hitch back there, and we also had like our box of sewer attachments and things like that. Well, that bin got destroyed. Some of the sewer attachment stuff were down at the side of the sewer hoses and things were on the road and yeah, just crushed and whatever. The bikes were in the back and actually got held in. Despite the fact that the tailgate completely got destroyed and came off, the whole back end is completely torn up. That back flip actually stayed on there and held our 2 electric e-bikes inside the truck bed throughout that rollover, which is actually stunning to me. I can't believe that held on there. I still need to open up the bags for the bikes and just see how they fared kind of rolling around. But the fact they were in bags and had that there and stuff, like maybe they're not that bad. But yeah, unfortunately, our truck is no more. And yeah, we're kind of figuring out what we're going to do next with the trailer. As you can probably tell behind me here, we've got the trailer in storage for right now. It was already our plan and we were actually already out of it. You know, we've been traveling in this thing for 5 years. Taylor wanted to spend the winter up here in the Fort Collins area, and we talked about it. We ended up deciding not to stay in the trailer for the winter because it will get colder and harsher for longer periods of time here. We get plenty of days like today where we're in December and it's 50 degrees, but it's not ideal if we don't want to like skirt the whole trailer and deal with the whole like more hardcore wintering in an RV. And Taylor wanted to be out of it. She wanted to get a house thing. We knew that after that, we'd already been talking for the last 2 years, honestly, about switching to something else to continue traveling in. I would personally still be traveling and doing the whole RV thing, but Taylor wants to coach. She wants to do volleyball. She wants to do sports. She wants to socialize. I still want to figure something else out. I don't know what's going to happen. But there's one other thing to be honest about, which is just how far behind I am in video editing. I was wanting to put together these reviews and stuff of the RV and the truck and all that because we were likely to be out of that, both of them for at least the winter. Who knows if we would have broken it back out again in the spring or done anything else, or if we would have just been selling them. I've got years of video editing still to catch up on. Taylor, I could never get her interested in joining me in this side of the journey, taking it seriously to like film the places that we're at or editing it and getting it online. And so she was only a part of the first couple of videos or something when it comes to editing. Between driving and working and maintaining the trailer and filming things and managing the filming and, you know, having a social life with Taylor and stuff and doing things. It's the reason why I can't get videos out very quickly and why I'm literally 4 years behind at this point. I've been fairly depressed and upset about that for a long time. However, taking the opportunity of us being out of this and being in a house, I'm hoping that maybe I can get caught up on that. And then in the meantime, we'll see what we get into. I loved that truck. That was the most favorite vehicle easily that I've ever owned. It had all the options, all the features. It was an awesome truck. I'm still happy to do a review of the truck, even though we don't have it anymore. If anybody's interested in that, let me know. I'm also very happy to do some sort of follow-up video about how all this stuff has gone with the wreck and having to deal with insurance and the legal side of things and all that. So just let me know. I don't usually get much feedback on anything that I put out there, but you know, let me know if you guys are interested and I'll still put something together, even though I don't have the truck. Ultimately, this whole channel has been about me just doing something with videos that I record. This YouTube channel was finally me saying like, yeah, I'm gonna sit down and like actually I'm gonna create videos that I would wanna watch, put those out there, because if I don't put those out there, then I won't do it. They'll just sit on hard drives. It'll be video that we shot and things that we went and did. And like theoretically, I can look back and do it. But all I'm really gonna do is look at my pictures that I put on Facebook when it shows me my memories. for now, anything that you see in the travel video, and especially, you know, still seeing that truck and us pulling this trailer, yeah, you can know that that's some distance in the past. And what's coming in the future, I don't know. Right now, I think we're gonna get through the winter and we'll figure something out in the spring. More videos to come, but I think I'm gonna go do some touch-ups on this thing. It's probably gonna sit here for another month at least, and then we're gonna figure out maybe come January if we're selling the trailer, if we're putting in consignment. Yeah, I'm not sure, but thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in whatever's coming up next. Bye, y'all. So that's the truck. You see how much it's squished down on the driver's side. So when it came around and smacked on my side of the roof, it really got it. Taylor's is scraped up, but not really smashed in nearly as much on that passenger side, but yeah. Airbags did an incredible job. It's a good truck. Gonna miss it. Gonna miss it for sure. Oh, it's not the way I wanted it to go. Take a picture. I can't believe that glass held. I was worried about that glass. So yeah, airbags came in huge. The A-frame held. It bent, but it held. So 2 nights ago, closing in on 40 hours or so. Yeah, we were in that truck. Wanted to do a video about it, about our 5 years of travel in that thing. Yeah, no, we'll see. I guess we're under a little bit of pressure because they're just kind of watching us here in the rec yard and want us to get out of here. So we got all the stuff, collected everything out of it. But yeah, insurance company's taking it from here. I guess we'll get a check, however fair that is, and figure out what's next. But we're okay. Nobody died. Life goes on.